Hello, physics people. You've got one job today. That's determine the relationship between the mass of an object and the pull that the Earth has on that object, or what we call gravity. So there's two things I want to talk about. One is mass. It's measured in kilograms, and that tells us how much stuff an object has. The other one is weight. It's measured in newtons or in pounds, and you measure that like with a bathroom scale. To figure out mass, what we can do is use a balance, would be one way to do that. A balance measures how much stuff an object has. The other thing you can do is find masses that actually have their mass stamped on it. And to find weight, we're going to use a force sensor. And I showed that to you the other day in class. So you might have an idea of what's happening here, right? You might have an idea what this relationship is, because big people tend to have a lot of weight. The Earth pulls on them a lot. And little people tend to have a little bit of weight. The Earth doesn't pull on them so much. So if you were guessing, or if I was guessing, I would say people with a lot of stuff, big mass, lots of cheeseburgers in their guts, have a lot of weight, and people with a little bit of mass have a little bit of weight. The Earth pulls on them just a little bit. I just don't know how those lines are connected, and that's our job to figure out today. Okay, so we're going to use a force sensor. It's this sucker, and I would hold it this way. And you're going to use a force sensor because it's going to tell you how many newtons the Earth is pulling down on something. You can figure out something's mass simply by picking it up. Or if you want, you can find masses that have the numbers on them. Remember, we're going to do mass in kilograms. So if you're measuring grams, just make sure you're careful. And what you can do is you can take this thing and just hang it right there, and the computer will spit out how hard the Earth is pulling down on that thing. Or if you're creative, you can probably hook up a little cup like we did for the spaghetti bridge and put stuff in it, and then you can measure anything that you want to. And you can just find the mass of that by putting it on balance. Two things I want to point out to you. One is there's a little selector knob right here. What it does is it either measures up to 10 newtons or up to 50 newtons. So if you're measuring little things, slide it down to 10. If you're measuring big things, you might want to slide it up to 50. But every time when you start, you're going to want to zero it. When the sensor looks like this right now, it should read 0.0 newtons. If it doesn't read that, there's a 0 button that looks like this up by the collect button. Hit that and set it back to 0. Finally, after you take your data, so remember you're going to want to measure, 6 to 8 different things. That should be easy enough for you to do. 6 to 8 things. And you're going to know what their mass is. You're going to measure that in kilograms. And you're going to want to know what their force due to gravity is. And you're going to measure that in newtons. After you measure those things, you're going to want to make this graph that we talked about with mass and force. To do that, sometimes it's just handier to start over. Once you have your data written down, just unplug it. And then you'll get a clean screen on Logger Pro, and you can make that graph and analyze it. I've put all the ideas on the bundle about how to write your lab report. And I'd expect you to take this data and write your lab report and be done by the time you leave today. That's our hope. Good luck. Continue to make good choices. Think about physics, and I'll see you soon.